hate people and, the way that they are so critical and judgmental of everything. But here we go. It's just, you can see I'm not being lazy. Bright and early, 10 a.m.
You have reached Tom.
So they're not available. I dumped to voicemail and I'm trying to reschedule the lesson. These are the kinds of things that have me frustrated. Having to wait on other people's schedules. Having to having things that need to get done for the store and having nothing to do and being able not to move forward on goals that I laid down because of the fact that I'm waiting on somebody else to be ready to come help. And this is why I've been frustrated for the longest fucking period of time. I don't know, like, everybody else acting like this channel and the person behind it is like individually not willing to put in any effort and work towards one's goals is a bunch of crap, because like first of all, like it's not about you anymore, YouTube. It's not about the way that I'm perceived on here. It's not about the way people see me or judge me or any of those things. It's just like I like somebody. I've been in love for a while, and I finally have an answer with a private company of my own that can provide, the kinds of income that I would need to actually move out in that direction, rather than a paltry sum that I would be able to make working a job at, you know, Fred Meyer's or whatever, working at the fucking grocery and working my way up the fucking chain, which just seems, like a waste of fucking time, ultimately, from my vantage point. But, you're so much more knowledgeable than me. I think you know fucking so much better than everybody else. So why don't you fucking tell me why you're, so clever and smart and why it's all my fault? So I'm trying to get a hold of Tom Driving Academy, and I'm pissed because it's like, what good does it fucking do? Blaming me for my own problems. What good does it fucking do? I can cry over spilt milk, but that won't actually do any fucking good. Only fucking effort towards actually, you know, in that direction towards actually doing things to move forward on things will help. And the problem is that there often isn't many days of the week. There isn't anything I can do to move on a goal. If Tom's Driving Academy, for instance, has that car in the shop, then literally, like today, and they don't pick up their phone, then literally today I get to blow off the whole day and do absolutely nothing with the entire day because there's nothing to do that will move forward on the only goal that I really am trying to move on, which is the fucking income goal. So if they don't get back with me, I don't have anything on the agenda for the fucking day except to just sit here and stare at the stocks and whatnot. It sucks, but that's the situation I'm in because what more can I do if they don't get back with me? What should I be doing right here, right now, with this very second moment of time? I don't know. Maybe I could spend it studying Japanese or some of one other goal of mine. But like it makes life a constant source of stress where like all you're doing is pursuing and you're trying to use every free second of time towards whatever task you have or whatever your goals actually are. You spend all of your free time on them. Do you really want to be in that kind of situation? Because I don't want to work that ridiculously hard on everything, and then beat myself up and feel like shit about myself and feel guilty about it, and about not hustling that hard. I mean, this is the fucking very point that I tried to make, is that I fucking refuse. I refuse, and I've rejected hustle culture, and it's like I'm not going to I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to enjoy a life outside of having to, work my ass to the bone going forward, because I've seen what happens with entrepreneurs that work themselves and do that and feel a sense of shame and hate themselves when they have a day that they can't get anything done and beat themselves up and feel terrible about it. Like what are those what ends up happening to those people? They burn out, and they burn out in a way that when I talked about burnout as far as learning was concerned, I didn't realize what burnout was until I saw what was happening to those hustle culture people. There's a video, a girl went on here and talked about how she worked her ass to the bone as an entrepreneur so hard that she ended up getting welts on her skin, and it destroyed her own body and ended up in the hospital basically, and had a hard reset and slam about what she was actually capable of, because it's self-evident ultimately that our system just it constantly tries to shame people. There's no mechanism in our system that tells people it's okay to take a break. Nah, nah. Hustle culture will have you telling you it's all your fault if you don't just work harder, and that is a fucking problem. It's hustle harder, hustle harder, hustle harder, hustle harder. And I know that this is a broken way of doing things. So it's not my fault for not hustling hard enough. That was just self care.